So folks, in this video I'm going to try to illustrate fast reroute and how that is configured on a Cisco CSR. So fast reroute lets you converge in sub-seconds or milliseconds compared to a typical IGP reroute or convergence, which goes into seconds and multiple seconds. So in this video, I'm going to do fast reroute with ISIS and see how we can verify it. So my topology is going to be very simple. We've got 3 routers, and I'm going to configure fast reroute with ISIS on R1 so he can reach R2's loopback, but when it fails, this link fails, he can quickly reroute through R3. So let's get into the configuration of it. So I've got my R1, 2 and 3 on my workstation, VMware workstation, and I've got my R1 interface gig 1 is connected to R2, so I'll do IP address 12.0.0.1.255, minimize my typing, gig 2 IP address 13.0.0.1. Don't need it here, but just in case. Let's go configure 2. Okay, let's verify if I can ping. Apparently not. Gig 1 is up, gig 2 is up. So I should be able to ping 12.0.0.1. Okay, that means I don't have it on the same network. Gig 1 is on N1. And gig 1 here is on N2. That's why. Gig 2 is in N3. Okay. And gig 3 here should be on N3, and this one should be N11. And my other one should be on N11 as well. 2. Okay. So now it should ping. All right, let's go configure R3. R3 is connected to 2 and 1, so it's got a (23.0.0.3) gig 2 no shut IP address 13.0.0.3 loopback 0 IP address /32. Do show IP interface brief, and I should be able to ping my 23.002. That is if I configured it. This is going to be 2302. Okay. So now R3 should be able to ping all the other two routers. 13001. That is if I have configured it. Yes, I have. So now let's go enable ISIS. Last one is going to be one for router 1, right here, this guy. One for router 1. Everything else is going to be the same for all the routers. And metric style wide. And what else do I need to do here? Interface gig 1 IP router ISIS, IP ISIS network point to point, interface gig 2 IP router ISIS. ISIS network type point to point. Interface loop back IP router ISIS. So we should be done here, except for the fast reroute. Let's go configure router ISIS first. This is router 2. Metric style wide. Interface gig 1 IP router ISIS. ISIS network point to point. Interface gig 2 IP router ISIS. ISIS network point to point. Interface loop back 0 IP router ISIS. Should be done here. Now let's go router ISIS here. Network. Three. Metric style wide. Interface gig 1 IP router ISIS. ISIS network point to point. Interface gig 2 IP router ISIS. ISIS network point to point. Interface loopback 0 IP router ISIS. Okay, so my ISIS should be all up. Let's go check on router 1 to see if I can see all the routes. And I do see 222, I do see 333. So now I'm going to configure fast reroute, topology independent alternative fast reroute using ISIS. And to verify that, show IP route, look at the, so I'm going to do 222, so show IP route. If you do that, you'll notice that it's saying in the next hop is 12002, which is through gigabit Ethernet. It's only showing you one alternative right now. This is going to change when you go and configure fast reroute topology independent LFA level 2 routes. Okay, let's see if that takes care of it. Not yet. If I remember correctly, okay, let's interface disable. That's for the MPLS. Okay, so it should show ISIS as reroute. Summary, and it's not enabled. So apparently you can only do fast reroute or protect them if they are level 2. So if you do this command fast reroute per prefix level 2 all, what you're going to see that you'll see the repair path pops up, but this would only happen when you do this. If you get rid of the protected, if you're trying to protect a path, for example this one, and you say no ISIS circuit type level 2, show run, just to make sure it's gone. It's gone. So now you'll see that it's not going to protect it if it's a level 1, level 2. So Cisco router is level 1/2 by default, and it's not protecting 2. So if you want to protect this route, you need to put in these commands. I don't think you need this one. So no fast reroute, topology independent LFA level 2. I think you do, but let's just see if you. Now you got show run part router ISIS. You got only fast reroute prefix level 2 only all, and then if you show IP route, let's see if this is protected. It's not, because it's level 1 and 2. So I want to do level 2 to protect it. I think it worked. There it is. See the difference? So basic only configuration is you put in fast reroute prefix level 2 all, or you can put specific ones with the route map. And then for the routes that you're protecting, either you configure the ISS to be level 2, but by default Cisco router is the 1 and 2. But then what you got to do is you got to go and tell the ones that you want to protect are L2 only. So now you are protecting this, and the repair path pops up as an alternative path, which is sub-millisecond convergence, which you cannot really test on a workstation, VMware workstation. In real life, you should be able to see that. This basically tells you that ISIS doesn't have to recalculate the alternative path, and instead of converging in seconds, it'll do sub-second convergence because it's already got an alternative path. Hope this helps.